everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Bunga CBC, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not know me, guys, is this thing lower or what? I'm sorry. I was hooked up with this, so I really don't know if it's in the right position. But hi, everybody. It's me again. It's Bongi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not know me, yeah, I'm Bongi CBC. Please do subscribe. Please subscribe and like the video, and also comment down below because the comments allow us to engage more. Maybe one of these days, like, so God help me, this load shedding thing stops happening so that we don't have to pump content after content. Like, okay, I don't mind shooting every time, but excuse me, what I don't like is the when I have to upload because the network is really bad and the person has to climb every mountain, you know. We don't want to do that. Okay. Just to reach network. Hi, guys. We we do we really have to go through that? Like, yeah. Let's pray for the load shedding to stop. Yes, but please do subscribe, like the video, and share and comment. I love hearing your thoughts. I love hearing what people say. I will continuously thank the people who are making sure that they're watching and they're subscribing and the numbers are climbing, guys. I am still grateful. Please, continue to watch, continue to liking, continue, like, please guys, comment. I love it when people comment on my videos and also just like the video, you know. It helps, it really helps my channel. A girl is trying to move out of one room. Yeah, but then we're not there. Okay, so my topic for today. Okay, I'm gonna say this because, okay, let me put it like this to you guys. I have a gap, okay? And my gap, it wasn't this, it wasn't this big. I mean, it wasn't this small, okay? It was actually big. It was, yeah, it was actually big, but not in that way of like, I was just born with it, okay? It was one of those things you are just born with. So I was watching a video from a YouTuber from America, and they were talking about pretty privilege. And I'm like, well, what's that? Okay, but so she explained it that pretty privilege is when you get things handed to you because you are pretty, because maybe you are much more fair in skin, because you are, you know, you just a certain type of way, I'm guessing. Now, I don't know, maybe other people have suffered from people who have like pretty privilege. I think the way she explained it was that, like, some people get things just because they are pretty, like they are really beautiful, and that's why they get other things just handed to them. And I was like, I've never experienced it like in the way she explained it, but I was a dark child growing up, even though I wasn't that dark. I was a dark child, but okay, I didn't suffer the stigma of pretty privilege. I didn't suffer from other people's pretty privilege. Like, I didn't. Seriously, I'd be lying if I said I did. Sorry, guys. Yo, this is why you drink coffee. I didn't suffer from those things of like pretty privilege, but I do know other people who might think that they suffer from pretty privilege, especially when they're working next, when they are walking with someone who's prettier than them. Um, I know a few of people who were my classmates that were really pretty. Like, yo, like beautiful, okay? Like beauty, okay? And for me, I think maybe one of the things that didn't make me suffer from didn't suffer against those type of people who had the pretty privilege working for them, it was because I had the English privilege. I don't know if it's even a thing, but like in my school, majority of the kids they were black kids, and hello, I'm black, and it wasn't those kind of people who were like not all of them, but in most cases it would be a little bit rare to find somebody who's much more fluent in English as like I was at my age. And that like it gave me some of the opportunities because I could now sit with the smarter kids even though I wasn't that smart. Truth be told, I wasn't smart. I wasn't like smart. I was a hard worker in school, but having been um like fluent in English, it gave me a stepping stone to be sitting amongst other people who were like intelligent, way above me, who I'm sure right now are doctors while I'm out here doing a YouTube video. And I'm just saying, okay? But the pretty privilege thing, I think it does exist. It does exist at some extent. It's just that I never experienced it like what am I saying? I never really experienced it unless sorry unless if I came across somebody like who was very light in complexion. I know I had a classmate who was very light in complexion. Like now you know for a fact that once a girl is light, you cannot compete with that beauty. Like when they're that fair, like light, you cannot compete with that beauty standard. So, but would I say she gained from pretty privilege? I don't know. That girl was really smart. She was really smart. She was really smart. She had the brains, you know. So I guess this is one of those things where like okay, in South Africa it's one of those things that are not big of a battle like with the American kids, because with the American kids if you are darker in skin there are problems with you, like it's a whole thing between a light girl skin and a darker girl in skin. We can both be black kids, but then this one is lighter and this one is darker, and then now there are stigmas to this one, and the other one there are no stigmas. Like all those things. But I'll tell you what I suffered though. I'll tell you what I suffered. Um, I'm short, ne? I'm short, and in my shortness, I could see that people would take advantage of me. like in terms of maybe making me feel a little bit below myself. And I developed a very sharp tongue for people who are like that. Like, I really developed a very sharp tongue for people who are like that against me. And this is what I suffered, because, like, I knew then back in my community, gay, it was not a village, but then, like, it was still that thing of like, she goes to a multiracial school and we are here. So if you got onto my bad side, like, I wasn't a bully, but like, people were mean. That's what I can say. People were mean. People can be mean sometimes. So if they would say something, even if it's in Zulu, I'd make sure I tear you apart in 12 English words so that you know where to get off. Because here's what I suffered, first of all. I'm short. I've got big buttocks. Ne? And when you are short and you've got big buttocks, you know what people start saying? I used to hear the phrase, when I'm walking, I'm shaking myself. And at that time, I'm 12 years old. I don't even understand what is the shaking for. And I was like, huh? And this is where, like, I always say to people, stop saying things to kids, because you don't know if that kid is a late bloomer or an early bloomer. I was a late bloomer. I was a really late bloomer, and I don't think other people realize that. And when I used to walk, people would say, I'm shaking myself. Okay, that one, I couldn't win, because I could try and walk up straight, and this is how you are made. How are you gonna walk like, you know? Or here's another one. Yeah, here's another one. My gap. People wouldn't tease me about my gap, but from time to time, I'd get people asking me, don't you want to fix that? And I'm like, fix what? And I was like, that though I wasn't insecure about, because my grandmother had a gap and I look exactly like her, and it made me proud. So if you would say you have a gap, you look like this and this and this and this, I would be like, child, my grandmother had this gap and she could still be, she got 5 kids with that gap. So you cannot tear down my beauty, you know? But, like, seriously, other people do, I think, suffer from the pretty privilege thing. I didn't suffer from it. I think, though, I did suffer from, like, that, those small comments that people would say, you short, you too short, or people would say stuff like, I still get it even now. Even now, I still get it even now. When I'm walking in the streets, some kids would literally think I'm their age until I have to, be her. You know, I still get it even now. Even with adults, sometimes they look down on me until I give them that, that stanky eye. Because I'm not good at talking, and I feel like if I would start talking, I'd hurt you. I'd really hurt you. So maybe I might have not suffered. I may have not suffered from the pretty privilege thing that happens with other people, but I think, it's just things that we stay with. I'm short. I'll never be taller. If I look like this, like a kid, hey, like, walk up to me and see if I won't punch you. I'm just saying. Walk up to me and insult me and see if I won't punch you, just to prove to you that I'm not a kid. But the pretty privilege thing, I think it starts from a young age, though. I think it starts from a young age. I remember someone told me one time in my own family that I must dumb myself down. And I was like, why? They said, you speak a lot of English. And I was like, oh, but I'm helping. I learned, when I started learning English, I was taught that the more you speak English, the more you become fluent. And that's how I learned. And I was like, but if I speak English with my friends and my brothers and sisters, they would learn it much more faster. I'm just saying, it made sense to me that way. But then, oh well, we're not the same, okay? But when it comes to pretty privilege, who benefited from pretty privilege? Can somebody tell me on the comment section? Wait, how do you benefit from pretty privilege? Is it like, oh, you're pretty, so you're gonna get the job, or and oh, you're pretty, so you're gonna pass the driving test? I didn't experience it, like seriously. As short as I am, even in varsity, I really didn't experience pretty privilege. But here's what I'd say about it: people are mean. They'll always have something to say. And here in South Africa, a dark-skinned girl is Indonesia man. So it means beauty. It means you're very beautiful. You are a dark-skinned beauty. I had an uncle who used to call me dark beauty when I was growing up because I was dark, and I knew that even if now you tell me that I wasn't good looking, but I knew that I was good looking because I never got people at home telling me I look ugly. Nah. In my family, they could do things, but tell us that we ugly, like, nah. I don't think any of us were raised to think that we ugly, like, at all. Because even my sisters will tell you that insecurities are things that we learned when we went into school. But no, I was not told that I was ugly at home, guys. And I don't know if there are parents who tell their kids that they're ugly. If you are a parent and you tell your kid that they're ugly, which means you're the one who's ugly. Which means you're the one who's ugly, because where else is this child getting the ugliness from? You can't tell a child that they're ugly. No. So, pretty privilege, I didn't suffer that. But those who have suffered it, I am really sorry that you suffered that. And I empathize with you because I am suffering from what do they call it now? Money privilege. Like, guys, okay, I'm employed now, but I'm just saying, like, there are people out there who, like, have you seen KK Mulawut from Muvango? He was rich and he used to wear those hideous shiny suits, and he did not care. He really did not care who said what about his shiny suits. Okay, like, yeah, come to think of it, KK is very dark in complexion, and he was wearing those shiny suits. So, like, you know what? If somebody thinks you ugly, just know this: hurt people hurt people. Okay? And another thing, they are just spewing what they have learned. There are people who think the color of my room is ugly because it's blue. And then there are people who are like me. Like, I love blue. If I could have blue in everything, I would. See? even my coffee cup is blue. So I think it's just one of those things where people grow up learning that learning that um, dark is bad, like the color of your skin is bad. But then, what does it then say about people who are like my shade of black, you know? And I just want to say that, like, they don't speak for us. They don't speak for some of us who see other people as unique and beautiful, and because like another thing that I've noticed, that like there are people who are like dark and they have the nicest skin ever. Okay, excuse me. One of the people I think of that about is Oami. You should see her cheekbones, guys. She is a YouTuber, like the biggest actually in South Africa, and she's dark and she's Venda, and those cheekbones, like you cannot get them anyway. Okay, and I'm like, and then somebody comes and tells you that when you're dark, you ugly. No, but I do think that pretty privilege, it's not as big in South Africa as it is in America, because they are fighting a different battle from us. Tina here, majority of people are black. Have you seen us? And if you come across me and you say I'm ugly, child, even if I'm dark as charcoal, I just have to tell a mob behind me that this boy thinks I'm ugly, and you'll see what the crowd will do to you. I'm just saying. But then Habima 2000, stop playing these games of objectifying yourself, putting yourself in places whereby they tear your self-esteem apart. I'm just saying, hey, please do like comment down below. Have you experienced that thing whereby you you gain from pretty privilege, or things are taken away from you because of pretty privilege? Other people are getting things and we're not, because you are not as light, you're not getting those things. Please comment down below. Tell me what you think of the topic pretty privilege. I really never suffered it, but I did suffer a spat here or there about my height and my buttocks and my gap. But other than that, I don't even care. I really don't even care. But please do comment down below. I know other people really feel like it hits home. It hits really close to home when other people think that you're ugly just because your skin color is darker. I'm just saying. And you're talking to a child and you're talking to a person who grew up darker. My skin just got lighter as I grew. As I grew. Even now, though, I'm not that light. I'm still a shade darker. So, yeah, guys, please comment down below. Have you ever experienced pretty privilege? And what is it like? Please do explain to me. I want to hear your experiences, and also tell us what you think about it. I know I'm not pretty like other chicks, but nah, I've never experienced pretty privilege gain or disadvantages from if I'm walking with my good looking friend. No, I've never experienced that. But yeah, tell me what you think of it. Oh, I know another friend of mine who's very pretty. But then again, she's crazy like me, so I don't think I really like, yeah, I don't think she suffered pretty privilege. Maybe other people have suffered pretty privilege. If you have suffered pretty privilege, please engage with us in the comments down below in the comment section and tell us what you think about it. And do you think it's something that is just coming now in the ages of AMA 2000? Or do you think that it was something that was there back then, even back in the 2000, back like in the 90s? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I still think though it's mostly the American side, not this side. But if you are a person who has experienced it, tell us, and also tell us how. Just explain to us, guys, how can we help to make it not be a thing that is growing in our society and in our country as well. And yeah, I love you. I love you. Please do subscribe, like the video, and also comment and share. Please, guys, subscribe, 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 like the video, and comment. Okay? Yes. And comment.